planning to do an interview on a certain subject or a individual, make sure that you do your research. It's very important. In fact, I'm just going to open it up to not only just interviews, but any subject matter or any person that you want to research. Do that. Find as many sources as you can about the person or about the subject matter that you're doing your research on, that you're looking up the information on, and then if you happen to write an interview for a particular news periodical or even for your blog, then you be armed to write that with the information that you have. I've conducted many interviews through my Authors in Focus blog over the years, and I find it's always a good feeling when I do my research on a certain individual, certain author, and also get to know about their work, their background. So when I ask them the questions that I ask them, they're not caught by surprise, but they will answer freely to what I have to ask of them, and they'll come up with some good answers. They really will. Not only about their book, but about their future projects, about their background, you name it. If I happen to interview an actress or even an actor in the play and ask about that actor's background as far as his past work, they are willing to share that information. If I ask a politician about how long they've been serving in this community or in this district, they're also willing to ask or answer the questions that are being asked by me. But all I can just say in any phase of life, it doesn't have to be interviews for a newspaper or a blog. It can be any subject matter that you want to look up. It's easy to do your research. As you know, we're faced with a lot of misinformation today. A lot of sites, a lot of uh, information, let's just say that, have sites that they source from less than dependable outlets, and therefore it's always best to look up the sources that's being shared. Now, I know a lot of people are very suspicious of mainstream media today, and when you consider the fact of who owns these outlets, that would give people pause, depending on you're from the left or from the right, or you're down the middle, that you have certain suspicions about where that news is coming from. But it's also the fact that we have so much media now reflecting in our taste, our biases, you name it, that of course we're going to believe what we want to believe because that side or that outlet that we depend on tells us that. But it's always good to do your research rather than just depending on an outlet and depending on what someone told you about a certain article that was somewhere else. Consider where the article came from. Consider whether that article is legit or not, and the source who is in the article. Find out if they're a legit source of information too. So you want to make sure that you get the right sources and they're accurate sources. They're not sources that are just interjecting their thoughts out there, but make sure that you're just understanding where that is coming from. So do your research. And if you do your research, I think that you will be much better off as an individual or as a human being than you were than when you before you looked up all the research that you had to look up. And make sure you get it from a number of sources too, not just one source, because that's what I think a lot of people, when they look up sources, don't get the proper they don't get the proper thought, the mindset of how where this source came from, or what's being said in this article, or what's being said about this person, and they really get confused that way. When I have to write an article, I have to consider all sources of what the person's done or what the subject matter is discussing. For example, if I'm going to talk about a new building in a neighborhood, a new shopping center, I want to find out who is building it, where did the money come from, how long did it take for that building to be propped up, what's going to be inside that building, all the things about that one subject that I really want to inform the public, so the public will have a better idea of what's being said and what's being revealed, so they can look forward to and they have the information that they never received before. So all I can just tell you is that, again, it's very important to do your research. Again, we have a lot of misinformation that's floating out there, a lot of people that are being misled because, again, our ears are tickled by what we want to hear, not what we need to hear or read, and that's very, very detrimental to all of us when we're all guided in one direction because someone said so, or this article said that, then we all miss out. So we have to look up the sources, trust the sources that we read, depending on what side of the spectrum you're from, whether it be political or social, and then trust that the sources are the right ones. That's all I can tell you. So with that, I just want to thank you for watching this. And again, it's always important to do your research, find out what is true or not true to you, and only you can decide the sources that you receive this information from. And that's all I have to say. So please enjoy the rest of your 2024. If you had a good holiday weekend, I hope you can continue to enjoy that. And also, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. All I can just tell you is that 2025, hopefully we're all here, will be a good year no matter what happens. And make the best to make the most out of it and do what you can to make your life better. And that's all I can say. So again, thank you for watching. Please support by clicking the banner if you like. More content, click down below to subscribe or even like. And hopefully I'll be all right next time. But I really want to thank you for your support. It really means a lot. And whether or not we disagree or agree, that's fine with me. Just wanted to share my thoughts out there. And I hope that you get it in the spirit that's being shared. Again, thank you. And have a good day, evening, week. And always in closing, take care.